And Sangam themes is there in ancient India. Okay, so we are again back and forth, not chronologically. The Sangam again majorly this is a time period between 200 BCE to 300 AD. Okay, 200 BCE to 300. That is the what themes are there. Okay, that is at the same time of this particular post-Mauryas time period. Okay, little bit Mauryas also. Sometimes the Sangam time period, recently it goes back to 3000 BCE also. So time periods are quite vague in Sangam times. Okay, so 2 questions were asked about Sangam themes. That is first thing about, consider the following statement: Sangam literature in ancient South India, whether it is correct. Sangam poems are devoid of any reference to material culture. Okay, at the same time, social classification of Varna was down to Sangam poets. Sangam poems have no reference to warrior ethic, again absolute statements, and devoid of any reference to material culture, because Sangam culture we have a lot of references to the material culture. Okay, at the same time, Sangam literature refers to magical forces as irrational. No, the reference of magical forces in Sangam literature is also there. Okay, and at the same time, the social classification of Varna was known to Sangam poets. Yes, that is the answer. Option is B. Okay, and Sangam literature, and that is due to Sangam means 3 colleges, or we can say college of Tamil poets that happened in Madurai. Okay, in and around Madurai. Okay, during the time period of Pandyas of Madurai. Okay, the famous Sangam literature we can talk about, that is Silapati Garam. All these we covered. Okay, and then again we can talk Mani Mekalai. All these are covered in last year. Okay, not this year. That is, you can go and check this particular video, because we try to combine both the videos, because in last year we covered all the topics. Okay, so not much emphasis upon PYQ, even though we solved PYQs, but this year I think we want to solve all the PYQs if possible. All the PYQs. So we are going through the PYQs base. Again, certain concept about Sangam literature, we can talk about that one. Okay, so Silapati Garam and Mani Mekalai. Okay, Silapati Garam by Ilango Odigal. Okay, Mani Mekalai by Satanar. So these kind of concepts you can go through that one. Okay, and some of the poems of Sangam literature is called as Akam and Puram. All these concepts are covered. Now Sangam administration, we can talk about that one. Monarchical form of administration. The ministers were called as Amaichar, because Sangam terms are being asked certain times. The priests are called as Antanar. Again, envoys are called as Thuthar. Then again, military commanders are called as Senapati, and spies are called as Orar. Okay, so these kind of terms are asked in Sangam administration. Okay, because people want to run behind administrative terms, that second terms, that is the reason I've given. And social structure, Varna distinction for that. That is exactly that particular term was there. Varna distinction were known to Sangam poets, but not as rigid as North India, because division of North Indian society was quite rigid, but in South India was not that much, especially during the time of Sangam time period. And Brahmanas were revered with chiefs, okay, revered by chiefs, acted as advisors, and no special privileges, but later times they acquired this particular privileges, and society was clan based, which is called as Kuti. Okay, that is a family relation times, and no restrictions on interdining and marriages. And rich peasants were called as Velalas, and then again agricultural laborers were called as Kadaisian, and animal skin workers are called as Pariyars. And again commanders of army were called as Inadi. Again, that is the reason I have given all the Sangam terms over here, and it's also covered in last year, but again sometimes we are repeating. Okay, so just for greater revision of this kind of term. Then again, lower caste are called as Pariyans and Pananas as well as Velans too. Okay, and women position we can talk about. Education was given, poets were also there, women poets were also there in Sangam age, engaged in economic activities like agriculture, basket making, as well as cattle rearing, and Sati was also existed. It was called as Tippayadal. Sati was called as Tippayadal, and at the same time it was not obligatory to practice Sati, but there was some widows were also present. Widows were also present during Sangam times, and also mentions one concept called as Sevilite, who were like foster mothers to take care of children who lost their mothers. Okay, that concept is there. Then Sangam religion we can talk about. There's the interaction between northern and the South Indian culture that led to growth of Vedic god system in South India, Vishnu, Indra, Shiva, that is we can say Brahminical gods. Then Buddhism and Jainism was also present, and particularly this epics of Mani Mekalai, as well as we can talk about Silapati Garam talks about Buddhism and Jainism. Then local people worshipped a god named as Murugan, who became Kartikeya in the medieval times, in northern Indian time. And medieval times he becomes the Subramanya. Kartikeya is a term that is used in north, and Murugan is used in south, and Subramanya is the medieval term for this particular god, the Murugan as well as Kartikeya, and believed in magical forces called Ananku, because in that particular statement it gave the statement of they believed that when the magical force is irrational, but they believed in magical force of Ananku also, and they worshipped the memorial stones, Natukal. Okay, that term is also there. Then Sangam economy, certain terms are there. The entire Sangam territory was divided into 5 regions, are also called as 5 tinais or ecozones, which are Kurinji, Illi region, Palai, arid zone. Then again Mullai, that is pastoral tracts. Then again Marudam, wetlands. Then again Nitai, that is sea coast. Okay, Nital, that is sea coast. So this is a material culture we talk about. So obviously in these regions, so 5 different kind of professions we can see. And rice was staple crop even today also in South India, and barter exchange was quite common, and trade was also there, inland trade was also there, and non-perennial rivers were there during this point of time, and that is the reason kings were known for building dams. In South India there is non-perennial rivers and kings, and particularly one particular king we can talk about, Karikala Chola. Okay, Karikala Chola, he built a dam on river Kaveri, one of the earliest dams on river Kaveri. Okay, so flourishing trade with Roman Empire also. Sangan economy, it has a connection with Roman Empire. Okay, then Sangam economy, continuing with that one, evidence of Roman trade in periplus of the Erythraean Sea. All the ports I talked about, that is mentioned in this particular work. It belonged to 1st century AD, in particular around 75 AD, same thing. Then a discovery of monsoon winds by one of the Greek navigator by Hippolytus led to the growth of trade between these 2 areas. Then again, major exports of the Sangam economy was spices, particularly pepper, which is called as Yavana Priya. Yavana is the term that is used for outsiders. Indians use this particular term for outsiders, the Kushanas, Shakas, Romans, and again we can talk about the Persians, the Arabs. Everybody were referred to this particular term that is called as Yavana, and their favorite product was pepper, called as Yavana. They were called as the lover of pepper, that is Yavana Priya. Then again, cotton and sandalwood also major export, and major imports were gold and silver, as well as red pottery from these Roman times. And major ports we discuss Muziri, Sarika, Medu, Kaveri, Pattanam, as well as Kurka. It's the same term that asked in the questions too. Okay, and this question was asked last time. What the Kirutal? Again, you can't run behind these particular terms, and again these kind of terms you can't be found in any of the basic sources. And the answer is there is a king defeating in a battle, committing ritual suicide by starving himself to death. Okay, so this is one term, and again I have given certain terms also. Okay, so that is Sangam age term, Kalbu, Karpu, again Pinchtinnal, then again Muhir, then again Kani Gaichar, okay, which are prostitutes. Then again Muhir means wine, Pinchtinnal means love marriage, Karpu means marriage with permission of parents, Kalbu means marriage without permission of parent and without any customary. Okay, so these are the Sangam terms we can talk about.